is Shannon. Thank you so much for joining me today for this end of the year reflective yin practice. I am recording this on the 30th, so it's just a couple days until the new year. And I'm recording this in 2025, which has been quite the year. And whenever we look at years, we can add the numbers together. So 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9. And in numerology, 9 is the year of completion. So there have been a lot of completions this year. Now, as far as the practice, we'll be holding the poses for about 3 minutes. And I chose this practice in these poses because in winter, it is the season of water, and urinary bladder and the kidneys are the meridians that we focus on in yin in the winter time. So we'll be doing some back extensions, forward folds. I always say to do what feels good to you. We'll be holding the poses about 3 minutes, so I encourage you to use props. I will be giving different modifications before each pose so you can do what feels right in your body. And then during the pose, I will stay quiet. But before each pose, I am going to be asking us a reflective question. So during the pose, you can think about this question, reflecting on your year, or you can choose to have that meditative stillness of the mind and just sink into the poses and enjoy your breath. So I do use a timer, so if you see me looking at things, I'm just checking to make sure we are staying on track. So let's start today in this easy seated pose, shutting our eyes, giving ourselves a moment here to arrive on our mats. Bringing our awareness to our breath. Take one full, deep, grounding breath, breathing in through our nose. Gentle sigh out. So our first pose is going to be Sphinx pose. So we'll be coming down on our stomachs. And our elbows will be either under your shoulders or a little bit forward. You don't want to have any pain in your back. Your legs can be together or you can bring them apart a little bit. But we're trying to let our stomach really sink down. So we're getting this nice arch in our back, putting a little compression on our kidneys. Now you can keep your head in neutral. You can drop your head, or you can place your forehead on a block. And our first reflection question, being that this is the year of 9, the year of completion, you can think about this question any year though. What came to completion for me this year? What came to completion for me this year? let's very slowly come all the way down to our bellies, turning our head to the side, pausing here for a few breaths. And we'll very slowly press our way up. So our next pose is going to be half saddle. Now if you want to do full saddle, you can do that both times because we're going to do the right then the left. It's up to you, but I'm going to be doing half saddle. So the way that we do this is we bend our right knee so our foot is somewhere near our hip, and we're going to be coming backwards. So again, we're trying to get this little arch in our back. So as you do this, you can use a pillow or a bolster to come back on. You can simply have your hands here and sort of lean back if that feels better for you. You could also come on your forearms, or you could even use your blocks, which will make it a little bit of a heart-opening pose as well, just because they have a little more firmness as opposed to the bolster, which is what I'm going to do today. So we're going to slowly come back, and you can adjust your legs as needed. Your knee may come up. If it does, you can just let it be in the air, or you could put something there to support it. And our next reflection question will be, what areas of my personal growth surprised me this year? What areas of my personal growth surprised me this year? Now you can keep your hands flat on the mat, or you could open up your arms, adjusting where you want them to find a little stretch. Now we'll slowly make our way up, unwinding our right leg, placing our feet flat with our hands on the mat. Let's pause here for a moment and breathe. If you'd like, you can find a little bit of movement with your knees going right and left. And then we'll make our way to the other side. So always remember, one side may feel a little differently, so you may have to adjust differently. You can, if you tried the blocks last time, maybe you want to try the pillow. Just do what feels good. So for this pose, our reflection question is, in what moments this year did I feel the most content? In what moments this year did I feel the most content? Now we'll slowly make our way up, taking our time, unwinding, finding that moment of pause. Maybe adding a little gentle movement. And our next pose will be butterfly pose. So for this pose, we're going to be bringing the bottoms of our feet together, and you can have them close in or a little further out. I like to keep mine a little further out. You could be sitting on a blanket or a towel. You could also use blocks if you'd like under your legs. You could use blocks for your forearms. We will be going forward. You could use blocks for your forehead. You could also use your bolster in front of you. Maybe you stack your hands, maybe you use your blocks. And with all of these poses, you could also use no props at all. So I always want to give all the options I can think of at the time. So the reflection question for this pose will be, what new strengths did I uncover this year? What new strengths did I uncover this year? Now we'll slowly make our way up. You can help your knees up as you place your feet flat with your hands on the floor behind you. Maybe leaning back slightly as you breathe. And once again, you can have a little movement in your knees before we move to our next pose, which is going to be half butterfly. So we'll start with our left leg out. Right foot is towards our thigh. Now you can always put something under your knee if that gives you a little support, like a folded up towel or blanket. You can use your blocks for your forearms. You could use your bolster with a block, or you could stack your arms. I'm going to use my blocks for my forearms. And with this pose, if you feel like you're opening up, you can always gently bring your blocks a little bit forward as you go. And our reflection question for this pose will be, how did I nurture my soul connections? How did I nurture my soul connections? we'll slowly press our way up, bending our left knee. Maybe you want to kind of wrap your arm around it, placing your right hand back, taking a few breaths. And then we'll move to the next side. So our reflection question for this side will be, what boundaries did I set this year? What boundaries did I set this year? Now we'll slowly press our way up. Maybe bending your right knee, placing that arm around it, left hand behind you, or really any position where you can pause and breathe in stillness. And now we will go into straddle pose. So this pose, we're going to be opening up our legs. This is another pose where you may want to put something under your knees. You could even put your blocks under your thighs. We're going to be folding forward. You could use your bolster to come down on. You could have a block for your forehead. You could also have a block on the ground for your forehead. You could even use your blocks for your arms if you'd like, which I may try, but feel free to keep your arms on the mat. And our reflection question for this pose will be, in what moments did I surprise myself choosing courage over fear? In what moments did I surprise myself choosing courage over fear? We'll slowly make our way up, pausing at the top. And our next pose will be deer pose. So for this pose, we're going to take our left leg and bend it so the bottom part of our leg is sort of parallel with the long edge of the mat. And then our right knee is going to be coming towards our right foot. I like to keep my feet about 90 degrees, but you can adjust as you'd like. We're going to be turning to the left and coming down. You don't have to use any props, or you could use a blanket or a bolster. I kind of like to use my bolster for this one. It's a very relaxing pose and gentle twist for our spine. And our reflection question will be, were there unhealthy physical or mental habits that I released this year? Were there unhealthy physical or mental habits that I released this year? Now we'll slowly make our way up, bringing our feet flat. Sometimes I like to wrap my arms around my legs and just pause here, letting my head fall and breathing. Now we'll go to the other side. So our right knee is facing, our left knee is facing our right foot, getting that 90-degree sort of angle with your legs. We'll be turning to the right, and Our next question is, what were my most joyful moments? What were my most joyful moments? We'll slowly press our way up. Taking that pause, also called the rebound, where we let our energies swirl around after the pose. Now we have one final pose before Shavasana. So we're going to do a reclined twist, but I'm going to give us an option of doing what's called cat pulling its tail. So let's come all the way down on our backs. You can have your bolster or your block on the left side. We're going to bring our leg up, give it a little squeeze, and then gently guide our leg to the bolster or the block. You don't have to use anything if you want to just put it on the floor. It depends on how much support you need. Now you can keep your knee bent or you can straighten it. And for our left leg, you can keep it just like it is, but if you want to do the option of cat pulling its tail, you bend your knee and then you hold your foot. So your foot is the cat's tail. Now some people like to flex their right leg and grab their toe. That's a little too much for me today. So I'm going to leave my left hand on my thigh for this pose. And our reflective question is, what risks did I take that were out of my comfort zone? What risks did I take that were out of my comfort zone? very slowly, we're going to come back on our backs with our feet flat on the mat. Maybe you want to bring your knees together, pausing here. And then we'll do that twist on the other side. So I'm bringing my bolster to the right, straightening my right leg, gently pulling my left leg in, and then guiding it over to the bolster. Now you can keep that right leg straight, or if you'd like, you can bend it, grabbing your foot, pulling your tail. And the next reflection question is, in what ways did I nurture myself this year? In what ways did I nurture myself this year? Now we'll slowly return to our backs, taking your time, taking a few breaths. Now let's take our knees and our hands and do some gentle, slow circles. And switch directions. And then squeeze our knees towards our chest. One final squeeze. And then we'll gently make our way into Shavasana. And our final question is, what am I most proud of this year? What am I most proud of this year? Let's find a little movement in our toes and our fingers. And take our time making our way up to an easy seated pose. We're going to pause here for a moment with our hands on our knees, relaxing our shoulders, noticing how we're feeling. And we'll take one final deep breath in. Gentle release. Bring our hands to heart center, bowing our heads, giving ourselves so much gratitude for not only showing up today to practice, but for making it through this year with moments of courage, showing ourselves and others kindness, knowing that we were growing through every situation. The light in me honors the light in you, and together here now and always, we are one. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed this reflective yin practice. I hope you have a happy and safe New Year's Eve and a wonderful year ahead. Thank you so much for coming, and have a beautiful day.